Yardage Sports. Where do we stand on this John Morant situation? At first, it became well, this was weird. This was odd. What's going to be the fallout to extremely bad? This is extremely bad. And the people that are defending John Morant have, they have NBA credentials, no doubt, Hall of Fame players in some cases. But it's like, yo, I don't. If they defended you, bro, like it don't look good. I mean, you talking about Steven Jackson coming out and defending you. He's one of the people that got suspended for a year because he was fighting, for his teammates up there in Detroit versus Indiana. So, when and he's up there, I'm gonna go over what he said, but he's like, look, he just made a mistake, and I'm like, oh, that kind of tenor makes me think they know something. And you run in the NBA, you know certain people just from your time with teams. You know different officials, you know different personnel, you know different coaches. I'm thinking they're hearing word that he's gonna be out for the rest of the season over this. And it went from, oh, I don't know when this video was uploaded, to is that even his weapon, to wait, he traveled on the road with his weapon? Is this actually his weapon? Where was he? Was he in an actual nightclub? Was it in Denver, where Colorado has had kind of these mass horrible events happen? And now the DA is looking into it. And now the NBA is like, wait, did you travel on a plane, on an NBA plane with this? Was this in an NBA facility? To, yeah, you might have to sit down for the rest of the season, Ja. I mean, let's get into it. So, of course, Gilbert Arenas came into it, and I'm gonna read you what Gilbert said, because man, look, if Gilbert Arenas is defending you, bro, it don't sound too good. But Gilbert said on the weapon situation with John Morant, quote, if I'm the owner, I'm going to do what every owner does, pretend I don't see it. I'm sure. I'm sure you would, Gilbert. Gilbert's like, man, whatever. Just, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google Gilbert Arenas, Washington Wizards weapons incident. All right, it's a heck of a read, rabbit hole. So he's one of those people that also had to sit down for a lengthy suspension over weapon use and having weapons in the facilities. He is basically the Gilbert Arenas rule. Them people don't play that, bro. They don't play that, job. So if you there and they're doing an investigation currently, the NBA is actively doing an investigation. If they find that you brought a weapon in an NBA facility and traveled on an NBA plane, lengthy, bro, lengthy. So, John, bro, look, you the money, man. Like, somebody needs to step up on this one. I ain't telling you what to do, but you need to come up with some plausible thing, you and your lawyers, because that's a major thing. And Nike's standing by you, but we haven't heard from Power yet, who just made you the face of their campaign. It ain't looking too good. But okay, let me read some more. Okay, so I didn't I didn't print out or screen share Jalen Rose's interview, a monologue. He basically said he was John Morant. He ran with the wrong people, had weapons, stuff like that, and he says this is gonna be a learning experience from you, for him, for Ja, which is understandable. I don't know if he was exactly John Morant, because Jalen, even though Jalen came from a rough upbringing up there in Detroit and hanged with a lot of different individuals, he never presented himself on the court, at least in a manner that bled over to off the court. I mean, I get it. It's a different time. Maybe we don't know different things that could have happened, but I just don't see him being synonymous with John Morant. But yet, he did come to his defense. Paul Pierce, the truth, and we kind of commented on that, and a lot of people weighed in on Paul Pierce. They were on basically each side of the coin. They were like, if anybody would know, he would know. But it's like, Paul, bro, come on now. They were like, come on, man, this ain't what you should be doing. So I want to read it. It was really lengthy, so just bear with me. I'm gonna get it up for you so you all can hear for yourself if you have not actually seen his comments. The truth came out in support of Ja, and Paul said, of course, it doesn't want to work with me when I'm recording. I don't care. Quote, I don't care what y'all say about Ja. I carried a weapon after I was attacked. Y'all don't know what he going through. Everyone got something to say until you really know what's really going on in someone's life. When you black and rich, you a target, period. That part, people were like, yeah, that's true. You become richer, you become a target. But, bro, that wasn't no target. My man was out there and he decided to have a good time. Nothing wrong with that. And then he decided to flash weapons. Man, that's just is what it is. Now, Paul Pierce, Hall of Fame player, like he said, he's been assaulted where his life was threatened. And from there, he always carried. Now, he didn't get caught. Was he carrying on the road? Was somebody else carrying on the road for him? But if anybody's synonymous with John Morant is that. But the problem, again, with that is he made himself, in that situation. It wasn't Paul Pierce, you know, being a target of someone trying to threaten his life. John Morant was just finished playing a game out there in a nightclub in Denver. He's like, man, shoot, let me cut this camera on and live stream. Nobody told him to do that. Nobody told him not to do that, and that was one of the biggest problems. He didn't have anybody in his crew to say, bro, don't do that. That's what Steven Jackson's comments were. So Steven Jackson was like, bro, you just made a mistake. It's gonna be fine. You need to make sure people around you have your best interest. And I made a whole bunch of mistakes. My problem with Steven Jackson is it's still on his YouTube page. He has a like whole video where he's how can I say this? He's showing love to his gang that he's in. Like a known gang. And I'm like, bro, what do you mean? What are you even talking about? Why are you weighing in on this? And to me, it was hypocritical from the fact that he put that kind of a video out and he's telling people, you know, so what? It's like, nah, bro. No, 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 no. It's not a so what kind of thing. This is the kind of culture that that is still emanating years later because Steven Jackson's a generation before John Morant, maybe even bordering a generation and a half. And from what Skip Bayless is saying, my man is throwing these signs up during the game talking about John Morant. And now you're saying, oh, you made a mistake. So what? Everybody, this is what people do. It's fine. Just have people in your best interest. Was it in your best interest to have that kind of video put out where you had all those, visuals, whether one way or the other? And now you're saying, nah, move on. Like, bro, he probably grew up. I'm not saying he watched that video and now he wants to do that, but that added to it. So it's kind of hypocritical. But today, as we stands now, like I said, it's not looking good. Everybody's like, yo, and I told you in my last video, he had to be traveling. He had to be in Denver or LA, Los Angeles. And it came out today that he was actually in Denver. Lost a few hours before it happened. And lost a few hours before Steven Adams had a where he led a team only meeting. Hey, fellas, we need to cut the off the field stuff, the off the court stuff out. And guess who tuned that out? Ja. So in the meantime, Ja has, deleted all his social media accounts, talking about he's seeking help and stuff like that. I hope he's seeking how to get his story straight. And one of the things I'm sure he has deleted his social media is to hinder any investigation because they use social media against him. And any player out there listening, if you are being investigated, they're gonna look at your social media. So he did the smart thing. If they didn't screen grab stuff, it's not up on the internet right now, but they can still subpoena stuff if they wanted to. It'll take a little while, but there's an active NBA investigation. And that active NBA investigation can yield him being suspended for the rest of the year. That is insane. So my advice to Ja is get your story straight, figure out what you can tell them people, and just lean on your right, on your Second Amendment right. Because to me, it's bad that it's a nightclub. There's no proof that it's an actual live weapon. One, we don't know what kind of weapon that was. Was it active? It looked like it, but yeah, who knows? The other part of it is somebody else could have just brought it with them, and it was just right there, and you just picked it up. You don't even know who that belongs to. The other part about it is I didn't travel with it. I didn't bring it to an NBA facility. That's also key. Now it's gonna look bad with all the other stories involving weapons in the first place, but at least you have some plausible deniability. You're gonna have some people testify on your behalf to not be suspended for the rest of the year. But the way the NBA is talking, the way people are talking and coming out to defend them, especially the type of people that are defending them, they are the people that have been suspended for long gaps of time. Gilbert Arenas was suspended for a long track of time. The was the next Steve Jackson been suspended for a long period of time. Even Carmelo Anthony, when he had a big fight, I forgot the exact brawl he initiated. He ended up getting suspended for a long time by David Stern, and an article came out today where he said David Stern told me point blank, I know what time you go to sleep, I know where you live, I know your habits, I know the people you hang around. So maybe the NBA knows stuff already before Ja even opens his mouth. But Carmelo said something telling. He's like, bro, it's a multi-billion-dollar business, and they're going to make sure they look at their players and know what they're doing. Now, how they didn't know if he was traveling with weapons, I don't know. So maybe they don't know everything, but it'll be interesting the next few weeks. We're going to stay on top of it, keep you updated as it goes along. But right now, Morant is basically reports are saying he's suspended indefinitely. He went from 2 games to indefinitely, and we don't know how long this is going to be. So buckle up. Heritage Sports.